I remember a period in my life where I was extremely antisocial. Like, I just stayed home, school had ended, so all I did was work because I had a remote job and maybe see my friend like once or twice a week, and then the rest of the time I just stayed home. I would see people I knew already, like my girlfriend, my mom, but in terms of talking to other people, no. I was fucking terrified of that. It felt awkward, it felt weird, it felt uncomfortable. And then I realized how antisocial I was being. I started looking around and realizing that if I wanted to go up and talk to a person, I wouldn't be able to because I was scared, because I didn't know how, and because it would make me extremely uncomfortable. So I started realizing that this was a problem. And so, how I am, when I see a problem, I want to fix it. So I started thinking, how can I fix this problem? And the obvious answer was obviously just talking to people. But there was a much more deep-rooted significance in that, because I realized that every single time that I had grown in my life, whether that be a small growth or large growth, I had faced comfort. I wasn't comfortable. That was the single common denominator in every time that I had grown in my life, whether that be financially, whether that be physically, whether that be mentally. I had become uncomfortable. And I was in this period of my life where I was constantly comfortable. I would go outside, I wouldn't talk to anyone. I would do my routine schedule, I would do work, and I wouldn't get uncomfortable at work. I wouldn't do anything that I didn't know how to do. And that was just my life. A very comfortable, mediocre life. And sure, I mean, you can become content, but it gets boring, and you start realizing, hey, it's been 3 or 4 months and I can't say one thing that I've become better at. I can't say one thing that I've grown at. And so you start realizing that the literal only way to achieve growth in any subject whatsoever, whether that be dating, whether that be relationships, whether that be mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, is uncomfort. So, what did I do? I went out on a walk through my city. I went on a walk through my city because there was people. And I know you think, yeah, well, I mean, you're not talking to those people. That was already a big step for me, was going out of my house. I was this antisocial at the time. And this was like 3 months ago. After that, the next day, I went on a walk with my city, but this time something changed. I put on my headphones and I started talking to myself. I talked to myself about my goals. I talked to myself about what I don't like about myself. I talked to myself about a bunch of things, basically as if I were talking to somebody else. And obviously, since I didn't want to do that and look crazy, I put on headphones to look like I was talking to somebody on the phone. It was a little life hack, and I actually made a video about it. And then I started getting more comfortable talking out loud, talking in the ambience of other people. And so then, on chances that I would get, like for example, if I'm in the elevator of my apartment, or if I'm out with my girlfriend and we meet an old couple, I would do my best to strike up a conversation with someone. And I realized that it was fairly simple because not everybody was out for me. I would get uncomfortable. I remember I would be on the elevator and I'd be like, oh, you have a cute dog. What breed is he? And so I'd strike up a conversation. And the more often I did this, the better I became socially, to the point where now I can just talk with anybody, and in 5 minutes, I know their name, I know where they're from, I have a good rapport with them, etc. But this isn't just socially. This is a video to explain to you that you have been mediocre at life for so long because you've been comfortable for so long. And so most people, most men at least, have this negative association with discomfort. It's, no, I don't want discomfort because discomfort is uncomfortable. And so if I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to die. And so that's a survival instinct from your brain, and that's okay. You're supposed to have it. But then there's the other sector of men who are like, I want more discomfort. And this sector of men are the men that are successful. Because you tell me any single man who has been great, who has faced comfort. None. They all faced constant discomfort. Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, any successful man worth mentioning is constantly in discomfort. And so if that doesn't say anything, then I don't know what does to the fact that you need to constantly be chasing more ways on how to be uncomfortable. And so this ties back to living at your edge. And so I'll explain the topic a bit. Living at your edge means there's like a cliff, right? and you're looking over this cliff and there's a void. And so this void is all your fears, all your insecurities, everything that makes you uncomfortable, right? Everything that triggers you. And so you have three options. You can shy back from the cliff and become comfortable again and be like, oh, that was close. You can live a boring life and not grow. You can also be a bit too brave and just jump headfirst into the cliff. You're going to be swallowed by all your insecurities and fears and whatnot. None of these are right. Most people do the first, some do the second, but none of these are right. The third option is looking just above the cliff. You hang on the precipice and you look down, and you slowly but surely get used to living beyond your edge. And so your edge grows, and it grows, and it grows. And then after a few years, you realize that where was once a void is now a bridge, because you've constantly gone past your edge, so it's grown into a bridge, and you can pass that void. And that is growth. And so as a man, if you want to grow, you need to constantly be living past your edge. And the first step to living past your edge is to understanding what your edge is. What things trigger you? What things make you deeply insecure? What things scare the living fuck out of you? What things do you know you need to do, but you haven't done them because you're scared of failure? These answers will tell you exactly what you need to start doing on your day-to-day life. You need to start inching towards becoming uncomfortable in these aspects of your life, because you know that that's where you need to grow. And there's a big difference here, is some people will take this the wrong way and they'll just do stuff that they know isn't right, that'll make them deathly scared. No. There are things in every man's mind that you know you should be doing and you need to do, but you're scared of doing. As an example, I was scared of speaking in class. I was deathly scared of even reading out loud in class. And so I knew that I needed to live a little bit beyond my edge and maybe raise my hand up once or twice to read a few sentences. And so at first I didn't do it because I was scared. I would rather live in comfort. But I also knew that I couldn't just read the whole page. So when we would do like some popcorn reading, I would raise my hand to read a paragraph. And slowly but surely, I got more acclimated to reading out loud because I was living just beyond my edge. And slowly but surely, my anxiety around reading and public speaking in general started going away. The same thing with these YouTube videos, the same thing with any other thing you're trying to grow, the same thing with talking to women, okay? Now, that is that. If you're in the sector of men who are ambitious, who want to grow, who want to expand, I'm only talking to these types of men. I created a community called Expansion. It's completely free, it's on Discord. And basically the goal of that is, number one, to be able to speak to me directly and get my personal advice if you like these videos. Number two, to be surrounded by men who want to expand and who want to grow. And number three, honestly, you can just tell me what videos you want and I can make them. So it's pretty cool. So I don't know exactly what we're gonna do with it yet, but if you wanna help me figure out the path of this community, because it's gonna be big, join it. Link in bio, free Discord called Expansion. I'll see you in there.